President Cyril Ramaphosa to act with the seriousness and urgency this matter demands. The ANC reaffirms its commitment to accountability, non-interference in law enforcement, and the full protection of whistleblowers, investigators, and officers of the law. We must all work to ensure that the rule of law stands above any undue interference, intimidation, or abuse of power as the African National Congress. We support fully the statement of the President that this matter is receiving attention, and the President will fully attend to this particular matter as it borders on lawlessness, projecting us as a banana republic. But at the same time, it is important that all those matters that have been raised are attended to, and we bring stability in terms of law enforcement in our country as we pursue efforts in the fight against crime in our country. We must raise an uncomfortable but necessary issue, the rise of unethical behavior within sections of the media and the corrosive impact it is having on South Africa's democracy. The ANC is gravely concerned by the growing pattern of what can only be described as disturbing phenomenon where certain journalists are no longer reporting the news but are actively involved in shaping political agendas, settling scores, and waging battles on behalf of those they align with or represent. This is not journalism. It is not political warfare waged under the banner of the Fourth Estate. We respect media freedom. We fought for it, but that freedom must never be confused with impunity. The South African public has a right to expect truth, balance, and accountability from its media, not scripted propaganda manufactured in the corridors of political agendas. The ANC calls on the Press Council, SANEF, media ombuds institutions, journalism schools, and editors forums to act decisively to confront this creeping ethical rot. If they do not, they risk presiding over the wholesale collapse of media credibility in the eyes of ordinary South Africans. As the African National Congress, we stand open to engage with the media in all platforms, as this is a two-way process, as the media seek the truth, to give the media what it deserves. To be clear, we are not at war with the media. We are at war with misinformation and disinformation, with the manipulation of facts and with the systematic erosion of journalistic ethics that undermines the public's right to know and distorts democratic discourse. The ANC will continue to engage openly and transparently with ethical journalists and independent media houses. But we will not remain silent in the face of a growing information disorder that undermines our movement, sows division in society, and weakens the institutions that sustain our democracy. If South Africa is to thrive, the media must rise to its own moment of renewal. The African National Congress will speak for itself, not through faceless sources. A faceless source cannot be a credible source to pronounce on ANC positions. The ANC remain available at all material times to engage with colleagues in the media on all matters, small and big, controversial, difficult conversations with the media. It is a two-way process of respect that in terms of that particular process, it is important that we need to keep engaging with respect as we did all the time throughout the years. As we reflect on the life of Comrade Didi and Mark Mandela Month, we are reminded that real leadership is not about visibility. It is about consistency, character, and care. The ANC recommits itself to the cause of ethical leadership, clean governance, and the ideals of the Freedom Charter. We do not fail the people who place their trust in us. We dare not betray the sacrifices of those who came before. We are the movement of Tambo, Sisulu, Mandela, Maxeke, Plaatje, Nokwe, and Winnie Mandela. We serve the people. We advance the revolution, and we move forward as a collective. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SG. Now it is the time for us to have the conversation. I will take questions. I'm looking for hands. Okay, you can see EWN here, and my brother there at the back. Please start, Tabiso.
Mr. Mbalula, you said you spoke about the sentencing or the conviction and the sentencing of Cindy Somakara. You spoke about that, political violence won't go unpunished. I just want to get what the party's thoughts is on the disbandment of the SAPS political task team, considering the fact that it was the SAPS political task team that worked on the Cindy Somakara case. And my second question is around the interview or the media briefing yesterday by the KZN Police Commissioner. Just maybe on the optics, we saw the police commissioner, not necessarily in military gear, but on the face of it does look like he was wearing camouflage military gear, flanked by masked men with AK-47 or R5s, automatic rifles. Just from the optics of that, what did maybe you make of it when you just saw that in TV? Thank you.
Thank you, EWN. Let's continue.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Makioni. SG, Tunes is my name, whatever I use. SG, I'll touch on the issue of the DA and the ANC. Other political parties in the GA are raising concern of behavior of the DA and the ANC, saying that it seems that the GNU belongs to the ANC and the DA. So what will be your response on that one? The second one, SG, in terms of factor speculation, that shocked the nation yesterday by the brief of the top cop in KZN. And now everybody is making the statements before the president make a call. So what will you say on those, and especially from different sectors, whether it's business, politically, or in the government? What will you be saying to that regarding that? SG, Trump threatens 10% tariffs on those nations that they side with the BRICS nations. And again, Trump told one of the U.S. magazines that he is a president of the U.S. and is the president of the world and is having fun. What would you do? Thank you.
I will take IOL. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Kamal from IOL. No, SG, I have quite a few questions, but then I'll ask three for now. One, does the ANC, it's in relation to what my colleague said about the general in KZN. Does the ANC support any inquiry into what Mkhwanazi has said, particularly regarding the political assassinations in KZN? And then what is the ANC's official stance on Minister Chunu's alleged role in disbanding the task team? And should he be temporarily removed from the investigations and all that? And then just one last one. in light of this controversy, does the ANC intend to introduce or support stronger parliamentary oversight of political leadership appointments and interference safeguard? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm still to my left. Yes, please go ahead.
I was not prepared, Matang.
No, but you raised your hand.
I thought I would.
Okay, no, you can pass.
No, let's give TV a chance. I'll come back.
Yeah, but we're doing this.
Yeah, no, let's give TV a chance. We'll come back.
All right, thank you very much. So we're done with the left. You can always have a bite later.
Yeah.
I'll move this side. Start with yourself, brother.
Thank you so much. SG Mkhwanazi. SG, you indicated meeting with the ANC, meeting with Minister Mkhwanazi today. Did that happen? If not, why not? Thank you.
All right, thank you. I then move over there. Okay, there's a hand. I'll start there. Start here.
Yeah.
We are newsroom, and then we'll move on that way.
SG, Junior Khumalo from Newsroom Africa. Firstly, when it comes to the allegations that were uttered by Mkhwanazi, do you think they're not... Okay, let me phrase it this way. The president, when there was that alleged suspension of him by the former secretary, Isma Hashuli, he came back from the country that he was in when we had a load-shedding crisis. We also saw the president coming back. This time around, there are serious allegations against the police top brass, and we don't see the president coming back. Does this signify the manner in which he seems to take these allegations, that they are not as serious? I just want you to get your thoughts around that. Like, was it that serious that he should have come back and addressed them immediately? And then just on the Minister of Higher Education and the SETAs, so as the ANC, you believe that it was just an error by the minister, like there was no malice, there was no desire to mislead Parliament. But right now we are receiving reports that there are other members in that panel that she claims to have put together that are also saying that we were not in that panel. There was never, one of them I think says I was not part of the panel, the other one says I was part of the panel but not part of the decision making. So is the ANC saying that there was no attempt at all by the minister to mislead Parliament, and there is no action that is going to be taken against the minister? And just lastly, the Democratic Alliance itself has said that the president is quick to act when it's a DA, deputy minister, who does something wrong. But when it comes to the ANC, there is this coming together and defending their own ranks. In the beginning, you spoke about the ANC now changing tune and basically taking action against corruption. But there are ministers such as Usmelani, there is also minister in the presidency as well, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni. Now there's the minister of police. No action seems to be taken when it comes to these ministers and the serious allegations that they are facing. Do you think it's a fair assessment then from your GNU partners to say that this alleged accountability is only required from the GNU partners, not ANC members? Thank you.
Thank you very much. News 24.
Mr. Mbalula, I'm going to start with the Higher Education Minister, but I'm going to bring in the Minister of Nhlanhla as well, and now the Minister of Police. Considering that we are told that there are now cases in existence against Mr. Hawks are investigating, according to DA. Are you not concerned about the quality of the leaders that you've deployed to Parliament and how that makes the party look, especially with your endeavors of renewal? And then lastly, I want to ask about, does the ANC have confidence, do you still have confidence in the Minister of Police, given the damning allegations that came with General Mkhwanazi yesterday? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other hand? All right, SG, I think we can attend to those.
Thank you very much for the questions. EWN, the first question in relation to the disbandment of the task team. The task team was disbanded and explanation for its disbursement was given, and there was no query with regard to that decision up until yesterday. And so, as part of the package of what was said yesterday, this will belong to the issues that will have to be investigated, to be tested one way or the other in terms of their veracity, as raised by the Lieutenant General yesterday. The task team was disbanded. I'm sure now it's over 6 months. Publicly, it was communicated. There was no reaction. We all got the explanation as to why it was actually disbanded. Now, yesterday we got a different story in terms of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. So it's part of the issues that we believe that if there is a process of testing the veracity of what has been raised yesterday, must be tested and be proven, and in that regard. Optics of Commissioner Mkhwanazi is a former special forces policeman, high-ranking, and the camouflage you saw yesterday is the camouflage of the special forces, and they carry heavy arms, and police do appear in different regalia, and that is their uniform too. I remember Minister Tele, when he was still General of the Police, he used to change from TRUT and then to camouflage special forces when he was the General of the Police. So police can appear in whatever regalia. So I think yesterday, in the press conference, the appearance seek to communicate a particular message in a particular way in this regard, but that regalia in itself belongs to the police. So that is the special task forces, not the army. So in this particular regard, I've seen that there are people who have questioned why that mode, but General Mkhwanazi said that they are in the combat mode in the fight against crime. So in the fight against crime, the combat mode means fighting dangerous criminals. That is combative, meaning we're putting our foot down. So that's what he was communicating, following with the statement that is made, not me. So the combative mode was accompanied by the appearance that we mean business as Idlali. That's what that appearance seeks to signify. Whether you disagree with it or not, that's it. We have had a whole debate in the country about not just regalia, but about the ranks of the police. Is it correct for police to be called generals? We passed that. The police are commissioners, they were superintendents. We changed that. I was part of the team that changed police from superintendent, commissioners. They are still commissioners, but we brought in the army ranks. And were fairly criticized by human rights groups in the country that we're changing the police to military military mode in the country. But we finally stayed with that because we said we wanted that because we wanted to communicate a particular message in the fight against crime, because crime had gone out of hand and criminals were emboldened and they were gun-toting in the streets and displaying weaponry of military in the township and terrorizing townships. And then we brought special units like TRUT, Amaperede, And then the special forces are always there to fight dangerous criminals and all of that. So when you talk about combat mode, you mean that you switch on to fighting hard against the dangerous criminals. So that's what the general explained himself and all of that. So I've seen a criticism around that, that was heavy-handed and so on. The most important question for us as the ANC is to deal with the whole scenario, and including that explosion, in a lack of better words, we've seen from a police general in terms of the issues that you have raised. And we have said that the things that you have raised yesterday are matters that are very serious, and we have used the word grave concern. And I've seen yesterday, after my appearance in another television, I don't know whether people don't understand English or what, but they said that I'm criticizing Mkhwanazi. I said, no, he's raising disparaging issues that borders on lawlessness and make us look like a banana republic. If people say that there are syndicates in the police, there are problems, and there are SMSs, those are disparaging. As a citizen, first, before I'm a member of the ANC, I must be worried. State secrets like that, and a general standing in a platform and say, let's fight. I'm happy to join the fight, personally, but at the end of the day, those matters require serious attention, and the president have committed to that. Right from Rio yesterday, I'm answering the forward question. President Ramaphosa answered the question. Right from Rio yesterday, President Ramaphosa answered the question and showed seriousness of the matter. And Sophie Mukwena reported that the president is on his way back. I'm sure he has landed. I'm not sure whether the president is using Kwazi because he's been traveling with public transport and so on, which is a sign of also caring. Because if Mkwazi is not in a good state, President could have hired a jet, and we have another headline that Ramaphosa doesn't care about the state of affairs. People are suffering, cost of living, and he goes with a different jet, which cost 15 million to Rio to Canada. But the president sacrificed, because what is important is the cause of representing the country there and use public transport to get there. So I know from here to Rio to Brazil is 8 hours. If the president is on his way back, probably he will be in the country by now and tomorrow. And we have deferred all these matters in the capable hands of the state. And we have said as the ANC, the center must hold. We are not a banana republic. When a top cop, don't analyze what he said. He raises the issues that you have raised, which the ANC, we say they are of grave concern. They must be attended to. We have not criticized Mkhwanazi. What will be the basis to criticize him? We don't know what he's talking about. Because if you criticize a police cop and without information from Luthuli House, and tomorrow he is proven to be wrong, you are proven to be on the wrong side and the top cop is on the right side, what are you going to say? Believability is important. And in this instance, as the ANC, we are very clear that those matters are serious, they must be investigated. And we also observe and understand protocols. And the president have called his forces that serve under him that they must hold the horses. He's going to attend to the matters. And I've seen the police commissioner also issued a statement this morning. But at the end of the day, South Africans are edgy. And South Africans will always be on the side of those who fight what is wrong, which is nothing unprecedented given our history as a country. We like and we dislike anything that seeks to suppress the truth. And the ANC is on the side of the truth, and that's what is important on our part. So I just wanted to emphasize that point. The GNU does not belong to the DA and the ANC. It belongs to the people of South Africa. We've got 10 political parties. DA happens to be the biggest political party in the GNU.
After the ANC.
After the ANC. ANC is number one, and then followed by DA. So, and then others follow. So we invited everybody in the GNU. So GNU is not going to collapse because one political party leaves. We have been truthful to the people of South Africa. With our 40%, we have been directed by the voter to share power. And we've got no choice. And if we did not want to share this power within 14 days, we could have collapsed the government and called for the re-election. We did not do that. We went for the route of what the people of South Africa wanted, which is sharing of power. And that's where we are. So others wanted the Grand Coalition, which we rejected out of the window. We chose GNU. And then Grand Coalition will mean a marriage of two political parties, which will be the ANC and the DA. Other political parties shouldn't, in the GNU, be worried about what the DA does and want, because GNU is stronger with all the parties that are participating in the government of national unity. We face challenges together, and the points of difference that we have, we seek to resolve. We have said now that the budget issue, which has become the main test, the major test of this GNU, we need to get together and talk about resetting the pattern, how we want to operate. And those issues that are raised by other parties about their concerns must belong to resetting the pattern, about how we want to operate, because this is not a marriage of the two political parties. It's with everybody. And we agree with that particular point. Statement of the top cop, we reiterate our position that the president and the state must deal with those matters. The center must hold. We can argue every aspect of what General Mkhwanazi have raised, for and against. That's not the way to go about to address a very volatile situation like that. We've got a head of state, we've got a president, which must attend to these matters. As the ANC, we defer to the president to address the issues General Mkhwanazi have raised. And we will, put our comment in detail on these matters for a while in reserve up until we get to the bottom of the issues that he raised, which are important, that they must be attended to. Mkhwanazi has been working very well in terms of the fight against crime and all of that, and we're all under the impression that they've been working very well with the minister. Boom, the press conference. So you don't, under those circumstances, we were not forewarned about these challenges, and he raised very big issues. Now, I see everyone, because the ANC is an easy victim, and I wish to make it very clear that the ANC will not be in favor of fudging the truth in this particular instance. All these matters must be attended to, and we are confident that government, under the stewardship of the president, they will be handled and be handled responsibly, because these matters borders on state security and so on. So they must be attended to. We are not saying that General Mkhwanazi, in terms of any other matter that is on the wrong or anything. We have not made any such comments. South Africans are in conversation about that matter since yesterday, and it involves the deployee of the ANC as the minister. And we're not standing here and saying that, no, the minister must not be looked at, he must not account. Why will you be a minister if you don't account? Why will we be in government if we don't want to be held accountable? And the minister's statement also is very responsible, because the minister said that as much as he dismisses what General Mkhwanazi says, but he equally subjects himself to the process of accountability. Now, there's only one boss in that government, which he was given that status as the chief executive of government, is the president. So any responsible person will defer to the president with all powers vested on him to attend to those matters. And the president have committed to attending to those particular issues. And we can then deal with what the president is going to do about these issues. Today I saw, I don't know whether it is correct, truth, General opened a case against the minister. So it can tell you where we are going. So we need to address these issues. We were there before as this country, and these matters were addressed, where state institutions were threatened, intelligence, police, and all of that. And eventually, some of these issues were addressed, not adequately, but were here before. So when we're faced with challenges like this, that is the test of leadership. And in this particular instance, we don't want to bring confusion and make suggestions that are unrealistic. Parliament must do its job. Why should they ask permission? I hear the question that should Parliament investigate? Parliament must do what it is within its realm to deal with matters as they arise. They must do their job. They don't need permission from a political party. They must process these matters in the context of Parliament and hold people accountable, and then get to the root of these issues. So there's the executive, the minister, and then the president, led by the president, and there's Parliament. On the other side, political parties and public representatives, there are checks and balances there. Our constitution is stronger because we've got Chapter 9 institutions that nobody is above the law. Anyone can be subjected to that. So in this particular instance, I can see the issues you are raising, that matters have been raised about so and so, and then the guillotine must fall, and all of that. So in this particular instance, let's follow the processes as the ANC, which we believe must be followed. That must be outlined at a later stage. I'm not going to comment about President Trump. Probably there is a statement on Twitter as we speak now. So if I were to comment about President Trump, I won't finish this press conference. There are many comments that he makes all the time. And so I'm not going to comment about that. IOL, does ANC support any inquiry? We have not reached that point. The matters are serious. They must be attended to. Whether that will lead us to an inquiry on the matters that have been raised, it's a question that we can answer only as and when it's part and parcel of the solution or the process outlined from the side of government in dealing with this particular matter. The position on Comrade Senzo, we have not met with Comrade Senzo, and in this particular instance, and I'm fully confident that he will engage with the leadership of the ANC, and in particular Luthuli House, on the disparaging allegations that have been made. He owes it to the ANC. He doesn't have to be commanded about it. The ANC itself has got its own processes. Integrity Commission and all of that. So there's officials of the ANC. He will brief us as a deployee. But at the end of the day, where action must be taken is in government. It's not in the ANC. And the ANC would like to see action taken on the matters that have been raised in whatever form in terms of dealing with the issues, which many South Africans are anxious about at the present moment. And others are in defense, and they've already decided that Senzo is guilty. Aldaram Patam says you must look at things in two sides. So give another one also the side of the story to be listened to. Like I said to you, we're all here. We have been praising the minister, doing great job. All of you, as journalists, you were on the ground. Have you ever seen this coming? That there is a problem between the minister and generals and all of that and the sort of things that were said yesterday? None of us will say we know. But we could see signs of something going on when there were arrests. They started arrests. I was in the police. Once top cops get to arrest each other, then I know there's a sign of something there. There's a problem. I was there in the police. I dealt with crime intelligence. I can write a book about that. Maybe part of this white hair is part of... I dealt with a lot of people there. Many people I dealt with there. And all of that. But the center must hold. We can't have our country projected like as if those who are responsible for our lives and law enforcement and the rule of law, which is a cornerstone of any democratic state and the national democratic revolution, must be upheld. And these actions are not giving us confidence. And you cannot expect the ANC then to say that, no, these activities are giving us... Yes, crime is there. But we have always had the belief that things are turning for the better. And Comrade Senzo have been doing very well with these cops. And you yourselves, as media houses, have been full of praise of Mkhwanazi, Senzo. Both of them. From all quarters. Boom, there is a bomb. There is a problem. Now, this explosion must be understood properly. Whether it is a grenade or it's a natural gas or whatever that it is, it must be properly examined. And the president will attend to it. We are confident as the ANC that the president will attend to it. And that's where it belongs. If Parliament want to act in terms of its parliamentary oversight, Parliament can be given command by us. They must decide in Parliament, as they do every day, hold everybody accountable. And I'm certain that the National Commissioner will appear before the portfolio committees and all of that. If they want to establish an inquiry themselves, they will look into those matters as Parliament. And as the ANC, we are not only represented, we are right there in Parliament. And so we will pronounce on those matters in Parliament in relation to these issues as to what needs to happen. We have not met with Comrade Senzo, but we will meet with him. And then he will take us on board in terms of some of the issues. But we think that the first point of call is the President, the person who have given him the task to lead the Ministry of Police. Junior, I've answered the comeback of the President. The President is probably here now in South Africa, and that is it. So I've seen from Sophie Mokoena that the President is on his way back. Not because of anything else, because the summit is over. Should the President have come back for this? I mean, this happened yesterday. So the President was already in Brazil. This is not like load shedding. This was a lightning. I mean, it's not load shedding, it happened. And the president was in Brazil, and the president have immediately reacted to show that he takes these matters very seriously. So that's what a responsible president does. A Minister of Education, as a minister, you are bound by the executive code. And you are also accountable in terms of that executive code to Parliament. And you are held accountable by Parliament. Now, we have seen that there are political parties that have resorted to those measures. I was subjected to Parliament as a minister more than 3 times to the Ethics Committee, and I was cleared. So should the minister be tested in relation to ethics, there are checks and balances. And then they will appear before the Ethics Committee, and they will either be cleared or be found guilty. In this instance, there are allegations that are made that the minister have acted in a manner that seeks to project that there were untruths in what he said. This is what we are saying to you. Did the minister lie? We say no, it didn't lie. She went to Parliament and gave the information. As to whether she lied in the process, that matter by other political parties is being tested. Now, the minister, once accounted, have actually resorted to a process of restarting the process, and accountability was demonstrated, and that corrective action has been taken. This process, all of it, of the sitters have started from afresh, and that the Skills Development Act of 97, of 98, empowers the Minister of Higher Education and Training, in consultation with Skills Authority, to appoint members of Accounting Authority SETA, including chairpersons. So the law is very clear in terms of this matter. And in this particular regard, an error in our view was made in this particular regard, and that has been fully accounted for. So if others say that minister have not admitted to the errors, he have not apologized, is a liar. There are checks and balances and accountability processes in government. You are saying that Tembi is a problem because it's mentioned, you talked about the Hawks. I don't work with the Hawks. You know the Hawks. Say there is a docket and all of that. That process must unfold to its logical conclusion and then make a determination about whether indeed there was wrongdoing on the part of the minister. And that is what must actually follow. But equally, on our part as the party, Tembi has appeared before the Integrity Commission, and the Integrity Commission have done its work and will report to the NEC next week. And we'll give you a report after the NEC as to what does, if there is a report on Comrade Tembi, what does that report say and what is the resolution of the NEC on that matter. We have reported to you that matters of this nature in terms of the ANC are handled by the Integrity Commission. So there is nobody who spared in this regard on matters of integrity of the ANC, including Comrade Tembi. That matter is in the Integrity Commission. The report will be submitted to the NEC as it is required by the Integrity Commission, and the NEC will deliberate on that in terms of the report. And then you then start raising a whole lot of other people in Chaveni and many others and so on and so on and so on. In reality, there is nothing in relation to the people who are mentioned that can come to head that there is sort of action that is required against them. First, they've not been arrested in this particular instance, and they've not been found guilty in any court of law. We don't even wait for that as the ANC. You are arrested, you step aside. They wouldn't be ministers if ever they were found on the wrong side and they have to answer one way or the other before the courts of the country. But the projection that the ANC is inept does not act on matters based on allegations is incorrect. We're acting every day, and we subject ourselves even to scrutiny on our own, even beyond the limits of the constitution of the country. Many political parties and individuals here, they will tell you that when they are arrested, presumption of innocence. In the ANC, we have perfected that. If you are arrested, you step aside. And it has happened, and it is happening on a daily basis in front of you about individuals. This thing that we are complicit in as a party to the protection of wrongdoing, maybe in the past. At the present moment, we're carrying out our renewal project. Maybe in the past. And that is why, as the party, even in our manifesto, hence people voted for us, we said that at some point we veered away, and then we are on the comeback. And on the comeback is not going to be easy because the believability among our people is what is important. People want to see more action than any other thing. There is Zondo Commission, people are not arrested, you blame it on the ANC. And we have said that we support the capacitating of state organs in the fight against corruption. It doesn't matter. We have said so, that even if you are members of the ANC and you are arrested, you are on the wrong side of the law, you are accused of corruption, you step aside. We are without our former Secretary General in the party because we had to put him on a step aside. But that is not recognized. Who in the ANC today, I'll ask the question, is in the courts and is not on step aside? In the past, you used to see people of the ANC going to courts with T-shirts supporting people who are accused of wrongdoing. Have you seen that in the past 5 years? It's gone. Tell me renewal is not grinding. In the past, Mbalula is arrested, there are people singing Lendu Yenzayo Ailunga in the courts everywhere. You can accuse us of ineptness in certain areas which we will admit, and we have said that we are building a party, root and branch. We have effected renewal in the organization and implementing it effectively, including to our members of the organization. Now, ministers are subjected to the same rules that are informed by the executive code in this particular instance. So we need to follow that. All what we are explaining about Mkabayi, we are saying to you that the minister went to the portfolio committee, explained herself, told what she can tell, where she made mistakes, she was clear and apologized before the committee and admitted to errors. It did not end there. The corrective action has been taken. And that is why we're saying to you that the DA position of charging the minister with perjury, we reject it. And in strongest terms, because to us it's performative politics. It has got nothing to do with the truth. But anyway, they can take it further. It's a democratic country. They've got the right to do what they do. It's performative politics. You can go and open a case against somebody in a court and all of that. But where is this charge? That the minister has not acted in a manner that seeks to do things right in a way. She has appeared before that committee, and they've taken her to ethics now, right? They've taken her to ethics. Let these things that she told, the lies, be tested then. Ministers, that's where they are subjected to. But we also outline what are the issues in terms of the education sector. What are the things that are actually facing us that need to be addressed? News 24. President will act against any other minister in government. That is his prerogative, and he will inform us as the party. If he have decided to do so, he can, and he will. But the opportunism in which, you know, in the ANC, ministers get to be guillotined. I'm using an extreme word, guillotine. And they don't even get to be told why. The DA, they were told why. Their deputy, and they were told that they give us somebody. They wanted to collapse government on the basis of that. And then they started to pinpoint fingers to their colleagues in cabinet and all of that. We can say a lot of things about ministers in the GNU who come from other political parties, and on the basis of that, we make inflammatory statements. That's not the way to deal with issues. So that's what is important to us. The ANC will not defend any wrongdoing. We'll go to the bottom of this, and all our ministers in government, not now, even before, must be subjected to processes of government in terms of good governance, either in Chapter 9 institutions, even in Parliament. They must account. Should they be on the wrong, we will not hesitate to take action in that regard or call for our president to act on them. So in this particular instance, we follow the rule of law. Thank you.
Thank you very much, SG. It is almost 20 minutes to 5. I will end it on this note and say thank you for coming through. Look out for the release of the annual report of the ANC, which will be released by the Secretary General immediately after. And we will share the report with members of the media that details the performance of the ANC and the progress that's been made in the renewal of the ANC in the past financial year. Thank you very much, members of the media. Thank you, SG.
We'll give you a leaked copy. Ubobuzi mibuzo fondi.